Beautiful people. I apologize that I'm a little bit late. Restream was having issues, which is starting to become more and more common. Um, and so that has led to the stream being late. Hopefully the stream still works pretty good. It's even showing now that it's having some connection issues, so we'll see how it goes. We'll try to do the stream. If not, I'll have to take it down, post a pre-recorded video for this post-game show. But nonetheless, let's hope that everything works out well. What's going on? Welcome to Chicago Bulls Central. We have a Bulls win tonight against the Wizards to talk about, in which Nikola Vucevic had a very big game. DeMar DeRozan came in, especially in that second half, really came in big time. We got a good contribution from Patrick Williams tonight. Patrick Williams really seeming like he took that challenge or that statement from Billy Donovan as a challenge and really stood up. We'll get into all that and more, but we got to run the intro first, and I'll catch you guys on the other side of this.
You are now.
Well, it looks like Restream doesn't want to run the intro because Restream is
tuned
having
into
some
Chicago
fucking
Bulls
issues
Central.
right now.
Your number
So
one
I guess
place for all
we won't
Chicago
have an
Bulls
intro.
news
We don't
and
need the
content.
intro, I guess. Who needs an intro? I don't know what's going on with Restream. I'm gonna apologize to you guys right now if anything with this stream doesn't quite go off pretty
Your number
well.
one place
It's
for all
really just
Chicago Bulls
Restream
news
is just
and
not
content.
cooperating right now. I don't know if it's just my computer with the Restream. I don't know what it is, but let's go ahead and get the Bulls. Solid game throughout this game tonight. Zach didn't have it tonight. He did not have the scoring aspect of it, but the one thing that he did do is Zach LaVine got the ball out of his hands. He didn't try to force the issue. He took only 10 shots today. He was 4 for 10 for those 10 shots, and all 14 of those points that Zach LaVine scored coming in the fourth quarter. DeMar DeRozan with 32 points overall in this game. He started off the game shooting very poorly. His first 22 points came off 22 shots. So the fact that he only took 5 more shots after that and scored 32 points overall just shows you how Zach LaVine was able. Oh, the intro was running. See, I don't know what the fuck is going. Like, I really don't understand what's happening with Restream right now. It didn't even show me that the intro was playing. But nonetheless, Bulls came in. They did their thing tonight. Vooch, 12 for 19, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Trade Vooch, who? This is why when they do feed Vooch. And one thing that I said, let's keep a lookout on, is that Vooch had, I believe it was 12 shots in the first half, came back with 19 shots overall. That was really good that they continue to go to Vooch. From this bench tonight, we got 28 points from the bench today. It's 9 points from Kobe White, 4 for Tristan Thompson, 9 for Javonte Green, 6 for Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams in this game, minus of +8 in this game. Really good thing. This is what we wanted to see from Patrick Williams playing 25 minutes. So this is what I don't. Billy Donovan playing Patrick Williams, ramping him down, and then talking about, I don't buy into hype. He needs to earn the minutes. Turn around, plays Patrick Williams 25 minutes in this game. Pat with 7. And you know what? Somebody was in the comments today saying Patrick Williams isn't a good rebounder. Patrick Williams with 3 offensive rebounds, 4 defensive rebounds, 7 overall, 1 steal, positive plus minus of +8. He was 2 for 5. We want to see him be a little bit more aggressive on the offensive side of the ball. But overall, it was some good things going on in this team today. And it was good that we got what we needed to get. But yeah, I'm telling you guys, the intro did not show for me at all. Like, I literally was clicking it. It didn't say that it was playing at all. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't right now, Restream is having some serious issues. But it is what it is, man. We're gonna keep it going no matter what. This is a good win. This is a win that we needed to see, and hopefully they can build upon this win going forward to finish out the season. The Bulls sit at 44-32 right now. Who won that game between Philly and the Bucks? I have to go back and take a look at that. But yeah, man. Yeah. Diane Jeffries in the building. What's up, Haize? You're going to not wear your Bulls gear into the playoffs. I'm not going to wear my Bulls gear until we see the Bulls play consistently, right? And this was a great first step. Great first step. We play again Thursday. I probably won't wear Bulls gear again. And on top of that, I'm superstitious. So now that the Bulls won without me wearing Bulls gear, we'll see. I'm extremely, extremely superstitious when it comes to sports. Chris Carvinio says, big win today, Haize. Absolutely big win. And it's good to see this Bulls team be able to do what they need to do and take care of business. Julie Jews in the building. Hey, Haize in chat. I think Billy heard your video. He needed to. He needed to. 25 minutes from Patrick Williams in this game. And Patrick Williams played very good in this. Yes, the offense, he needs to be more aggressive on offense. Not going to take away from that. But what he did in his minutes today were needed. He got some key extra possessions for the Chicago Bulls. He took some shots when he needed to take some shots. He did his thing. He did his thing. Let's see what else we got. Sean's Aquatic Life. A nice 5 to 6 game win streak will be nice. Listen, I don't know if we get that. The Bulls have a hellacious schedule to finish out this season. I just want to see them play solidly from here on out. And there are going to be some pessimistic. There are going to be some skies falling Bulls fans who are going to say, "Oh, well, it took all this to beat the Wizards without their best player." I don't really give a fuck about that right now. The Bulls came in, they took care of business, they did what they needed to do. They need to do it against the Clippers on Thursday, and we'll see what happens with Miami versus Saturday. Let's take it one game at a time like this team needs to do, and we'll see what happens. Philly in fourth again. Hey, listen, the playoff watch is going to be crazy. Brandon Peck, 7 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds from Patrick Williams, which I think may have led the team in offensive rebounds. I may be wrong on that. But yeah, Patrick Williams did what needed to be done this game. So let's see. Yes, Patrick Williams led the Chicago Bulls with 3 offensive rebounds. Those are extra possessions. The Bulls had 6 overall offensive rebounds in this game. 3 of those came from Patrick Williams. That's what we needed to see. SB Talk Sports says we got the W. Absolutely. Absolutely. Raul says Vuce was excellent today. He played very good today from start to finish. Tonight, Bulls gave effort on defense as much as they did on offense, and I think a lot of that had to do with Williams getting in the game and playing a lot of minutes. Donald, you are correct on that one. I agree with you 100% on that one. 100% on that one. Vuce, man, Tingus Pingus. Oh, man. This feels good. This feels good. This feels like a good win. This feels like something they can build on. Don't take the Clippers lightly. They get a day of rest, and we'll see what happens. The Bulls get to go back to the drawing board, see what happens. They get some things that they need to work on. And yeah, Patrick Williams comes up big for the Bulls in giving minutes. And I think that's, if anything else gets taken away from this game, hopefully it's that. This team is different defensively. And I'm not laying everything. This Bulls team overall gave really good effort on defense tonight. But there's something different about this team with Patrick Williams on the court. And yeah, I know there are going to be some haters that say, oh, the offensive side of it. Listen, Vuce's offense right now, Patrick Williams' defense right now, that's what our front court could be as Patrick Williams continues to develop. Good question from Miles here. When do you think Pat will become more important piece in the offense instead of mostly sitting in the corner? I like what I'm seeing, though. It's going to be a while. I really do think, I think this front office, when they signed DeMar to that 3-year contract, they basically said, all right, we have 3 years to get Patrick Williams where we need to offensively. He's there. Look, let me not say he's completely there defensively. We know what he has defensively, but this relieves Patrick Williams from really needing to be a big part of our offense. And let's see if he brings aggression. Let's see what he does when we go to him. But I really don't see Patrick Williams being a huge part of the Bulls offense while DeMar is here. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to ramp up over the course. This season, wash, we already know. They lost this season to really build up Patrick Williams. But playoffs, offseason, next season, season after, they really need to be looking to build Patrick Williams up to be more confident on offense. Tim Brazil, people have blindly hating on Vuce, not considering the context. He's been handling the paint by himself all year. That is why having Patrick Williams, listen, the makeup of this team, and I can understand people saying, well, there's an issue with how this team was built. I understand that. But the way this team was built, the starting lineup, I should say, was built was for Lonzo to help cover Vuce on pick and rolls and for Patrick Williams to help defend bigs and still learn that as well, but do a lot of the gritty things that Vuce just doesn't do. We haven't gotten to see that at all. So we'll see. We'll see. From DZ, hey Haize, why do you think LaVine was off? Listen, LaVine has been on for the last 5 games in a row. He's really been on the last 5 games in a row. This game coming off a back-to-back, already he was questionable because of the knee. It's going to happen, right? It's going to happen the rest of the season. And I think that's probably a big reason why. Gio says Pat earned his minutes tonight. Every single one of them he absolutely did earn. That is a fact, my brother. Philly and the Bucks had an incredible battle tonight, yet it wasn't on TV. The Lakers were on TNT shaking. You already know. You already know the LA bias. We all do. The NBA knows it. I love to hear like the time Charles Barkley called it out. Yeah, and the Lakers are getting fucking waxed right now by what, 22 points against the Dallas Mavericks? The NBA deserves what they get on that one. They deserve what they get. Yeah, Brooklyn and Detroit in a battle as well. The fact that it's fourth quarter 5-point game, hey man, it's NBA. Not only Vooch, if Vooch plays like this and we get this type of defensive effort from the team, and Patrick Williams comes in and rebounds like this and plays defense like this, takes a little, hits more of his shots. Listen, this team is dangerous. Silk Ron says, a win is a win. I'll take it. I feel that. I feel that. Brian the Try Hard. What's up, Haize? Big W for the Bulls. Absolutely. Franchise feels, I agree with you. Patrick has shown, listen, you can start him playing 25 minutes. You can keep the minutes restriction, but start P. Will. He's shown that he deserves it. Start P. Will. He earned it. In this game, he's shown that he deserves to earn it. Listen, I'm not one to usually stop. First of all, our Bulls got to win. We're live despite Restream wanting to hate. We got 100 and some people in this chat with 23 likes. Hit the damn like button, people. This is great content. Hit the like button. Original Short. Haize, what are you thinking when Washington started that the third run on the 7-0 run? I was worried. I think as most Bulls fans do. At this point, we've built in some PTSD when it comes to runs, especially third quarter runs. But the Bulls rebounded well. They lost the third quarter, but they only lost the third quarter by 3 points. Then came back to win the fourth quarter by 11 points. That's what we want to see from this team. TNT ain't gonna be the same when Chuck is gone. It's not. Wait, Chuck hasn't announced like a retirement or anything, has he? Let's hope not, because Chuck needs to stay around. Salute, Haize. Good win for us, Bulls Nation. Absolutely, absolutely. How many turnovers tonight? I think we were under 10, which is what we want to see. Let's take a look at that. You may be on to something there. Bulls had 8 turnovers today. With 26 assists, 9 steals themselves, only 1 block overall from the team. Yeah, this team did what needed to be done. 36 rebounds. They only got out rebounded by 1 tonight. Joker, LOL, love it. Did you see the All-Star draft? Julia Jules, Barkley, and Sagan. Oh, well, yeah, you talk Julie. Yeah, but Charles Barkley is a gem. Is a gem. Hit that like button, everybody. Hit the like button. That third quarter has been key. They were able to answer the third quarter run tonight. Good to see. Absolutely, John. Absolutely. Watching the Nets struggle to put Detroit away is amazing. Listen, I'm telling you guys, I'm not calling for it to happen. It's not my prediction, but Brooklyn could absolutely get eliminated in the play-in, and that would be crazy. Even though Pat can seem slow off the ball, he turns into an athletic monster whenever he's near the ball for a rebound, block, or drive. Yeah, his lateral quickness is not the best. But the thing is that we can see Patrick Williams, once he learns and the game slows down for him, he can use his length to offset that lateral quickness. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, Pat played good today. Hey, Haize, feels better than yesterday. Good win. Defense and ball movement is the key to this team down. One thing that I will say, while DeMar did come on in the second half, we saw DeMar force it in the first half and pass up, making passes and plays for teammates. He was on in the third and fourth quarter though. So like we got DeMar doing DeMar like things in the fourth quarter. 14 points in the fourth quarter from DeMar DeRozan. So yeah. Julia Jewell says Pat has a different kind of not injury. Let's not say that. Energy on the floor. Absolutely, he does. Absolutely. Who will we have guarding PG Thursday? Well, and then he follows up. He will go off. I wouldn't necessarily say that, right? Because look at it. We can put Javonte back in the starting lineup. I think Javonte could do good against Patrick Williams. Caruso can probably do some things against not Patrick Williams. I'm sorry, PG, Paul George. And then I think Patrick Williams can definitely guard Paul George, especially if he has good point of attack defense and doesn't let Paul get a head of steam on him. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Haize, how many games do you think we can realistically win in the season? So we got 6 games left now. Um, let's take a look at the schedule. Let me actually talk about this from an educated standpoint. So LA, I definitely think we can win. Not saying it's going to be a cakewalk. Miami, Milwaukee, Boston. If we can get one game out of those 3 games, the Miami, Milwaukee, Boston games. Miami's this Saturday, Milwaukee's Tuesday, and Boston is Wednesday. So the Milwaukee Boston is on a back-to-back. If I think we can get one of those, right? And I know people are going to say like we haven't beat a top 10. I think we can get one of those. We play well against Boston. We match up well against Boston. So I'm going to say we get a win against Boston. And I think we can. I know we can beat Charlotte, and I think we can beat Minnesota as well. So I'm saying the Bulls go 3-3 to end this game. God forbid they get hot and go 4-2, but I think we can get 3 out of it out of the next 6 for sure. That's my prediction. 3-3 to end the season. P. Will needs to start and guard PG on Thursday. I'm leaning towards that. I wouldn't be mine with Javonte either. I wouldn't be mine with Javonte starting off doing that either. So we'll see. I'm concerned about Thursday. Who's guarding Paul George? Even if his shot is off, he's still a super. Well, we just kind of talked about that. I wouldn't be worried about it. I think we've seen Alex Caruso guard threes, so he can definitely guard. I'm not saying for the whole game, but he can definitely do some solid defense on PG. And I think Javonte and I think Patrick Williams. I think we can. I'm not saying we can stop them, but I definitely think we can do it. No, what? That's stupid. Why would I pop back up Golden State Warriors Central? I'm not a Golden State Warriors fan. I'm a lifelong Chicago Bulls fan. The channel isn't going anywhere. What the fuck are you talking about? Pat Will, 25 minutes, Thompson, 17 minutes, Levine, 34 minutes, even though it's on the tail end of a back-to-back. Those are good usage of minutes. Still perplexed. I really do think something. This is my, again, you guys know I'm many conspiracy theorists. I'm leaning towards that they want Derrick Jones Jr. hand to be as healthy as possible by the playoffs. That's just what I'm leaning on. When you, even with the way that Billy Donovan talks about Derrick Jones Jr., it's like he can't wait to get him back in the lineup. So I think that may be something. Keep in mind, Derrick Jones Jr. came back early because he wanted to help this team win because he saw them going on the slide. So maybe they're using this to say, hey, Pat is back, right? Derrick Jones, Pat is back. So we're going to allow this time to ramp up Pat and to allow Derrick Jones Jr. hands to heal. That's what I hope is being done here. Maybe that's me trying to look too more sort of the positive side. We can beat Boston. Absolutely. Absolutely. CJ the True says, salute Haize. What up, chat gang? What's going on, CJ? Millar Miller, 6 games left, 50-32. Realistically, BD needs to progress on in-game adjustments, and Bulls need to show effort on defense and not rely too much on ISO ball. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Just got to acknowledge that Rue is going to be nice if he can stay on the floor. Absolutely. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be Hachimura is going to be a nice player. Nice player. But yeah. Vooch was hot today. Love seeing, especially in the game where Zach LaVine didn't have. Well, Zach LaVine came on in the fourth quarter for us. Let's be clear. The second half and fourth quarter, Zach did what needed to be done, but it was nice to have consistent Vooch throughout it. And it was good to see Vooch. Also, they took advantage. Like there's a couple of times where Ish was on Vooch and they went to Vooch. Now he didn't always score, but they went to Vooch for sure. My thing is why isn't Tony Bradley getting minutes? Javier, you just want to stress me out, brother, don't you? You just want to stress me out, man. I don't appreciate the stress that you want to place on my life, my friend. I don't appreciate that. Gio says player movement was good. It was good. Wasn't great, but it was good. Definitely was good. Will versus Chris Rock versus Petty Roosevelt. Will Smith's mom would get scared and he'd be forced to move with his auntie and uncle. Oh man, Lonzo injury will be evaluated. Yes, yes. So he'll be reevaluated. We'll see what happens. There's not like y'all got to stop. There's not going to be a Lonzo Ball update every single day, man. Y'all got to chill with that. Tim Brazil with facts. When Vooch has 4 assists, we are 19-9. Feast. I guess is that what that emoji means? Feast. I hope so. Billy needs to let us know what's wrong with Derrick Jones Jr. Well, they may just not be wanting to release. Like, I mean, hey, if it's not that he's hurt and they're just letting it heal, I would almost rather them not and unleash that shit in the playoffs. So that trap beating is what we've been asking for all season. Look like you're going to the Vooch and the DeMar pick and roll, but have Vooch stop halfway after his man goes all in on the trap. That's smart. Smart. They should have P. Will guard PG for 10 to 12 minutes as a test to see where he's at. Well, they should have him guarded. I wouldn't say put a minutes on him because if he gets cooked in 5 minutes, take that motherfucker up off of him. So honestly, let Derrick Jones Jr. get fresh and let him be an unexpected weapon in the playoffs. That's kind of that may be what they're doing, right? And look at like Derrick Jones Jr. and the how dynamic he is. I wouldn't say it's necessarily going to be an X factor like wins the Bulls a series or anything, but that can definitely blow up a series for sure. Pat was playing late in the fourth quarter. They were trying to see where he's at. He might be starting next game. Listen, it very well may be, especially when you look at Paul George being back. So remember, Derrick Jones Jr. was an X factor for the Miami Heat come in the playoffs. Listen, and the way that Billy Donovan has used Derrick now, it was Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball and Derrick Jones Jr. pick and roll became dangerous there for a second. So yeah, we'll see. I don't think PG is a good measuring stick because he's coming off an injury well himself. Well, not a measuring stick, but I do think that hey, it's good. It's good to see. It would be good to see P. Will guard PG. Reginald Short, do you think Zoe will play first round? I mean, it's very optimistic when them saying that they'll reevaluate him between the 7 and 10 day mark, which that would technically be tomorrow. It's possible. Let's wait and see because it's one or two things that can happen. They can reevaluate him when they get back to Chicago, and then Zoe could look like he's still not ready, and they just could decide to shut it down. Or they're going to make an announcement say, hey, Zoe's been cleared for contact practice. And as we know with this team, if they clear you for contact practice, that means, hey, we're going to give you 1-2 contact practices, see how your body responds. If it responds well, we're bringing you back. So we'll see. We'll see. What if we went with a Tony Bradley, Troy Brown, Matt Thomas lineup? The fact that could have been a lineup 2 years ago on this Bulls team if they were here. But yeah, do you care? I've talked about this in a video. The Bulls are a much better home team, so I absolutely care. And if they can get it, I would love for them to get it. But with 6 games left, how tight the East is, it's really not looking likely that we can get up to that 4 spot. Looking at it right now, we are 2.5 games back from being the 4th spot, which Philly's in the 4th spot right now. That would mean that we would need them to lose over the course of the next season, the rest of the season, 3 more games than what we lose. And because I just said, listen, the Bulls may only get 3 wins in those last 6 games. It's not looking likely. So that would mean that if Philly gets 3 more wins, it's done for us. And a combination of us losing 1 or 2 more games. So yeah, I don't know if the Bulls are going to have enough to get that 4th spot, which will get them home court advantage in the first round. I just don't know. Well, no, so all bone bruises are not the same, though. They're not the same. The fact that they even said that they will reevaluate him in 7 to 10 days. Let's keep in mind he had the bone bruise before. Before that's initially what put him out, and then they found the MCL. He still had the bone bruise, but not all bone bruises are the same. So I wouldn't say that just because Kendrick Nunn. Every player heals differently. Now I will say this: the last time that Lonzo had the same surgery he had this season, he did miss the rest of the season, and it happened much earlier in the season. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, absolutely, Julie. Julia asked, Haize, do you think DeMar's name has dropped from MVP? Absolutely. That's over with. That's done. The 6 games left, that's done. The only thing that he could do um is if he goes and scores 50 points for the next 6 games in a row and the Bulls win all the last 6 games, he can probably finish fourth or fifth. But that's it. The MVP conversation is done. Da Bulls, coming into the season, did you believe the East would be the strong hope this Bulls championship window last? Well, keep in mind, the championship window isn't even open technically right now. The being a solid playoff team window is open, but an actual true contender hasn't even opened right now. So we'll see. But yeah, I did think the East was going to be strong. I didn't think it would be this close down the stretch, but I did think the East was going to be very strong this season. Um, this is a good question from Reginald Short. Tyler Cook, it remains to be seen. Devin Dotson is not going to be. He's going to make a roster, but it's not going to be a Bulls roster next year. Let's see what we got. I think we should no. Have you not seen that experiment? It's terrible. Look at the plus minuses of just the limited time that we've seen Tony and Vooch on the floor together. I mean, Tristan and Vooch. And Tony shouldn't be getting any minutes. Tony should not be. Tony, the only minutes Tony Bradley should be getting is helping lace up other players' shoes. Tristan and Vooch together on the court is terrible. And say bye-bye to your spacing. No, that should not be the matchup at all. Damn, that block by Smith and DeMar reminded me of backyard battles against my neighbor. Give Tony minutes. What the hell? Just imagine Morons wanted to trade P. Will for Jeremy Grant, who was injured again and out for the season. On top of that, Jeremy Grant, again, not an elite defender. He's a solid defender, not an elite defender. He's a terrible passer, which we're talking about ball movement on this team. Jeremy Grant was never going to work for this team. Rob, are people even watching the games? No. A lot of people aren't watching the games. I don't think that East has ever been this tight. Well, keep in mind that one season, and this is a deep dive, the one season where every team in the Central Division made the playoffs, it was, I don't know if it was that tight from top to bottom, but it was a tight season in the East as well. That was years and years ago. That was even before, that was the shit. I think Tyson Chandler was still on the Bulls then. That was the Kirk Howard, Ben Gordon, Luol Deng, Tyson Chandler Bulls. So yeah. Okay, so I've seen a couple of these comments. For anyone asking about offseason, I'm not talking about that right now. I'm not talking about potential candidates I'm not talking about that right now. Once the season is over with for the Bulls, I'll get to work on that, but I'm not talking about that right now. What's your opinion on also the chances? As far as re-signing Tristan, we'll see. We'll see. The Bulls may look to see if they can bring in somebody else first with having Tristan. Listen, I think that they can get Tristan back if they need it, but they may look to upgrade that bench overall. DeMar did a much better job tonight of moving the ball in the fourth. We need more of that and less hero ball in the fourth. Rob, I completely agree with you. Completely agree. Do. Well, this may be a game to get Kobe confidence back in order. Kobe played very well today on defense. He had some defensive rotations where he looked great. So this may be a game. But plus minus, he led the Chicago Bulls in plus minus in this game. He had the highest plus minus of plus 18, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Kobe played very well in this game. 4 for 9 for shooting as well. This is like, you can't always judge even Kobe by just the scoring. Kobe had a very solid game tonight. Very game. So if his confidence was shot, this is a good first step to get Kobe's confidence back together. How far do you think the Bulls will get in the playoffs, and will seeding matter? I don't know right now. This team, I, if they can get back to how they're playing, I don't know. Like, I really, it's too much to call right now. What up, Haize? Good Bulls win. Do you think the Bulls should shut down Lonzo for the rest of the season, considering he's not back? No, not at all. It depends. I think that they will shut him down. If he has another time where his knee just doesn't respond when they reevaluate him again, they may just go ahead and shut him down. But if his body starts responding well when he's reevaluated, no, you don't just shut him down. You let him come back with maybe with a minutes restriction, but you let him come back. Victoria Rodriguez says, should we care the top teams don't see us as a threat? In the playoffs, everybody's a threat. Nobody wants to be upset in the playoffs. So I'm telling you right now, when the playoffs start, all that rah-rah shit, ain't no team overlooking any team. They're coming in to play, and the Bulls have to show them that they have to prepare for them. But do I think it matters? No. I mean, if anything, if they do overlook them, let the Bulls punch them in their chin and surprise them. But I don't think anybody's overlooking. Okay, so first of all, look, where's my hat? Don't know. Nobody's. Where did I say big ball or small ball? See, you're an idiot, and you wanted to make a point, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It's not about small. Who said anything about small ball? Patrick Williams playing the floor. It's not small ball. Who said keep the ball small? If you're gonna respond to something and say something, try. There's a difference between having something to say and just having to say something. I get this is a chat on YouTube, but William, that response, you're a fucking moron. Let's go ahead and move on. Nemeth says, bro, I'll come in more negative in pregame shows. They seem to lead to wins. You remember that stretch that we had where every time we would bash Vooch in the pregame, he would go on and have a big game? So, yeah. Playing Vooch with Tony, no, it should not be explored. That's dumb. We've seen it. It's dumb. That's not going to work. That's idiotic basketball, and that's literally no spacing, no nothing. That's dumb as shit. That's what that is. Fun fact, Nikola Vucevic has led us in scoring in both games against the Celtics. That's honestly not surprising, really. That's not surprising. Billy Donovan's gum, Petty Road, 20-0 right now. Korea says, you got to stop wearing Bulls. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, I'm not wearing, like, just because the Bulls won, I'm still not wearing Bulls merch next game. I'm not, it's going to be a while before I wear Bulls merch again. This is the same thing. We did good versus the Wiz, but against other teams, I don't see the same type of plays. Well, Joker. It's so funny seeing Joker, and Joker's my brother. Like, let's be clear, Joker's been one of the OG supporters here, and he has a right to be pessimistic because everybody does with this Bulls team. But Joker started off when he first started coming in the chats so high, and then the season comes, and that's the stress that the Bulls have caused their fan base this season. Joker is a perfect representation of that. I feel like we missed Lonzo a ton. From my perspective, he made the game easier on the team on both ends of the court. It was a level of concern other teams had against us when he played. That's now gone. I wouldn't lay that all on Lonzo Ball, but I don't think anybody's saying that Lonzo doesn't have a big part. Like I said, even my intro, a lot of that is offense generated by Lonzo Ball, whether it be on fast break, whether it be defense. Lonzo has made a lot of things easier for this team. Absolutely. And he's a safety gauge with the way that he shoots that 3-point. So, yeah, absolutely. Dun, 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 dun. We can still get 4. We can get the 4. But the thing is that we would need the other, like, we had 6 games left. We're 2.5 behind. That would mean, like I said, that would mean that we have to win basically 3 more games than the team ahead of us. It could happen, right? They could shut it down. Philly could not give it in because look at Philly. Philly may say, "Hey, we don't see the Bulls as a threat. We're going to shut it down towards the last couple of games of the season. Even if we fall to the 5th seed, we're confident we can take the home court back from the Bulls." But it's not going to be easy for us to get home court in that first round. Okay, see, this is the thing. You're a fucking idiot. How tall are most of the go and look at the average height of power forwards in the league right now. Patrick Williams is 6'8". He's a big. Shut the fuck up. Stop trying to you know what? Mods, get his ass up out of here. I try to give grace. And I don't want Petty Roosevelt to come out. You gotta go, brother, because you're an idiot. We don't have rooms for idiots here. I've played college ball. Nothing frustrates me more than when the paint gets clogged. I feel that. I feel that. We do have a better chance against first round. I agree. I agree. For all you think stinking stupid motherfuckers who are here talking about Nikola Vucevic being a bad player, that is hilarious. Philly will stay Miami. They've gained some demons recently, even though I ultimately think if you guys are asking what I think is how it's gonna shake down, I ultimately think Boston is gonna wind up in that 4 spot just because of losing Time Lord. If I had to guess, if I had to bet on somebody losing it, um I definitely think Boston will probably end up at that 4 seed. Definitely think that. Jojo Perro might as well start DeMar at point guard, P. Will at SG, Tristan at small forward, Tony at power forward, and Vooch at center. Since you like to run stupid ass lineups, it's people really come with that 2K mindset. By the way, let's go ahead and anoint the great Brandon L. Jet is now a mod. Let's go ahead and do that. Billy Donovan's gum. Just thinking about it, Zoe really brought ridiculous energy with good transition offense and the pace he forces the team to play. 100% agree. You will get no Lonzo Ball slander from me. The only time, the thing is that some Ball family stands, right? And this is not saying Ball family fans, is not saying Lonzo Ball fans, but stands that think everything in the basketball world revolves around the Ball family, like they lose sight of objectivity. But looking at the way that Lonzo contributes to this team, the role that Lonzo plays in this team, the energy that this team, the intelligence, the basketball IQ Lonzo brings to this team, nobody can take that away from Lonzo Ball. Nobody. Joker, I used to be so high on the Bulls. Then their play brought me down at Chicago Bulls Central. You are absolutely right about. I said it. We're family at this point. A lot of us, those who've been in here a lot. I now remember you used to be super high on them, but like I said, that's not to judge you. That's not to talk down to you because the stress that this team has caused all of us. Hey, bro, I can't blame you at all, fam. Zoe's transition game is missed for sure. Io's great in transition too, but he seems to have hit a wall recently. And then, that's what the people who were saying, "Oh, start Io over Lonzo now." I think they missed a lot of that. Like, don't get me wrong, Io has so much, and second year Io is going to be scary, 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 scary. But Lonzo is just that Lonzo is different, right? Lonzo is just a different type of competitor. Do you think our core healthy as a title contender? Or do you think we still need some reconstruction? I would say this: we need more balance on the bench. So, like I said before, I've said this a lot of times. People probably are expect me to say this in the replace Matt Thomas, Malcolm Hill, Tony Bradley. Replace even just those 3 players and Troy Brown Jr. Replace those 4 players with some veterans that you know what you can get out of, that you can trust to be consistent, that aren't necessarily we don't have to have a scorer, but people who we can trust to hit their open shots. It completely transformed this team, I think, into a title contender. It just depends on what and who you fill that out with. Our starting 5, when healthy, I'm right there with. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Reginald Short, do you remember when people wanted Lonzo traded or said he was overpaid? Please explain Zoe's true value. Listen, people forget. Like I said, that boy is different. I like we all lost a little faith in the team this year. I think we all lost a little faith in the team this year, but the future is still very bright going forward. Absolutely, Blah. Couldn't have said that better myself. Simba, when Zoe was playing, we were one of the top teams in 3-point percentage. After Zoe got injured, we dropped. So listen, I said Zoe's that safety valve, right? And the thing with Zoe too is, let me go back to this. The thing with Zoe, the thing that we've seen from other players on this team, they get gun shy down the stretch, especially if the game's tight. Zoe didn't do that. Other players, if they miss a few shots, they get gun shy. Zoe can go 0 for 4 from 3-pointer, and he's letting off the next 8 shots with no fear at all. You need that on the team. You need that on the team. Brendan L. Jet, no one fears the Celtics. I'm sure some people fear the Celtics, but especially with Time Lord gone now, we match up very well against them. Hey, Haize, I noticed that when I wear my Bulls jersey, we lose. Do you think the Bulls merch is bad? Listen, I'm not wearing Bulls merch right now. I'm not wearing it right now. So, hey, man, that's all I can say. I'm not wearing Bulls merch for the foreseeable future during games. I would love to see a Milwaukee versus Toronto first round. Toronto. Did I just mix Toronto and Milwaukee? Toronto has given Milwaukee fits. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Toronto is undefeated against Milwaukee this season. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe wholeheartedly that the Milwaukee Bucks have not beat the Toronto Raptors this year. If that ends up being the 3-6 matchup, whoa, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Let me see if I can do a quick run through on it. Let's see. Lost against Toronto in their first game. Lost against Toronto in the second game. Lost against Toronto in the third game. Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks have not beaten the Toronto Raptors this season. That's crazy. That's crazy. Look at this dude. Listen, I have no idea, man. I fuck up on words sometimes that it just doesn't make any sense. You would think that English isn't my first language. I think second rounders are ceiling. Hey, I mean, hey, I can't the way this team is played, I can't knock anybody having that mindset right now. Haize, I'm glad you do the stream for real because I always hated the notion from some NBA players that people don't know basketball if they never played in the league. You clearly have a high IQ. I've been watching basketball my whole life. Literally my whole life. I understand the game. I wouldn't say like, hey, I can go out like some people. I can go out and be a coach in the GM now. I don't, but I know how to break down. I know how to watch. I know what I see out there. I wouldn't say, hey, I can run X's and O's better than anybody, but I definitely know basketball. That's for sure, and I appreciate that. The greatest, definitely appreciate that. What's our record without Lonzo and with I don't know all that right now. I have no idea. No idea, Joker. When you go to Toronto, they always say, hey, at the end of their sentences. Toronto is a beautiful city, too, by the way. Beautiful city. Hey, man, even with all the recent losses, Australia, 12 game positive. There you go. That's a great way to look at it. JoJo got you covered, Joker. He says we are 22-13. Is that with or without Lonzo? Got to be with Lonzo, I would guess. I'll take a second round exit. Got to remember this team has been completely irrelevant since Rose blew out his knee a decade ago. Future is still bright. That is from John Crawford. That is a great point. Brandon L. Jet with the super chat, always supporting the channel, my brother. Thank you for your continuous support of this channel at the level that you supported at. $50 super chat for Brandon L. Jet. And Brandon says, thank you as always, Haize. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for your continued support and how you've helped build this community over the last 8 months. Haize, do you think Stacey could coach the Bulls as he listen? Stacey's basketball mind is the way that he calls out certain things. But again, keep in mind it's always sometimes easier when you're removed from to say that. And if Stacey wanted to get into coaching, I think Stacey would have been in the coaching by now. Somebody would have had him. Somebody would easily add Stacey to their staff. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But I don't expect it. I don't expect him to go into coaching, but I think he definitely could have. Just listen to the way that he talks. I definitely think that it could have been a possibility for him. The MJ of the chat for real. Yep. Brandon doesn't play. Brandon supports, man. I always appreciate Brandon's support. Oh, this team? Oh no, no. Especially last year's team, the year before that, Stacey would have lost his shit. They would have been like, hey, Stacey King just got fired for smacking the shit out of Laurie Marketing. What? What happened? Stacey King just smacked the holy shit out of Laurie Marketing. What? Y'all remember Latrell Sprewell, how he choked the coach? It would be that in reverse, but Stacey would be choking the shit out of motherfuckers. That's how it would go. Da Bull says the bench really does need work. I really think the Bulls need a Kyle Korver type. We don't have a consistent 3-point shooter. They need more than a Kyle Korver type, but I definitely like adding a Kyle Korver type amongst other things would definitely. I wonder how Stacey stuck around for the Fred and oh, listen, I'm sure Stacey would go home and be like, if these Bulls don't improve soon, I'm just gonna retire with Neil Funk. Can you imagine Stacey King coaching? Oh man, listen. Stacey would have lost his everlasting mind coaching those two. We wouldn't have like I always talk about Denzel Valentine's gums. We wouldn't even have to worry about that. He wouldn't have to listen. Let me stop this for a second. There are 151 of you in here right now. We were up to 180 at one point. We got 84 likes. I need 100 likes before we end this video today, man. What y'all doing, man? I don't even usually ask for likes, but hey, I had to do it at that point in time. Geo says Stacey's smart enough not to become head coach. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I was pissed when Paxton took little disses at Stacey during the Neil Funk retirement. Did he? I listen. I don't even remember that right now. I guess so much has happened, but my mind is blocked from that. Mm, mm, mm. JoJo Peril with more facts. So we're 22 and 13 with and 22 and 19 without. Lonzo makes a difference. His energy on both ends is different. That he's different. Lonzo's just a different type of player. And keep in mind, I have said as much as many other people have said, Billy Donovan hasn't even unlocked all of Lonzo's potential in game yet. That's what's scary. That's what's scary. That's the Vooch I like to see. I need aggressive the whole game, though, but good shit. He must have heard my pregame diss. All right, Dwight. Paxton has no job. Yeah, Paxton doesn't deserve to take shots at anybody. At anybody. The last 7 years were dark times under guard Pax. That one's from Reginald Short. The only thing I didn't like about this game was they went away from Vooch in the second half. Well, you had to in a way because the other team was expecting. Like, keep in mind, there's very rare that somebody gets the same amount of shots in the first half as they do in the second half when they score 20 points, right? In one half. He got 9 more shots over the course of the second half. He had 12 shots overall in the first half. So he really only got 3 less shots than what he did in the first half in the second half. So it kind of makes sense when you look at the way that the game went. But it kind of is what it is there. Joker, I feel like AK will do the most changes that the owners will allow him. I'm surprised they didn't use their mid-level on McGee or anyone. Listen, he's gonna make moves, and it's not about what the ownership allows him. If you saw in the way that he brought in DeMar, he brought in Lonzo, and using contracts to bring in players and be able to offer them more money. That Troy Brown Jr. contract, well, the fact that he's an unrestricted free agent, I wouldn't be surprised if a team that does sign him, AK works it out to where they can turn it into a sign and trade to get something back. Derek Jones Jr., if he does leave, I wouldn't be surprised if they turn it and find a way to make it a sign and trade to not only help the other team sign him, but to get something back. AK and Eversley are going to get busy this offseason, and they're going to get creative with it as well. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on, looking something up real quick because I saw a comment and I want to talk about this from an educated standpoint. All right, so Billy Donovan signed a 4-year contract. This is year 2. So he has 2 more years left after this. I wouldn't be like they're not going to fire him this offseason, no matter what happens. I've always said that. But there is a chance if the next season goes left. But let's not even talk about that. Let's not worry about that. Let's hope that everything comes around where it's not even an issue right now. We're not even worried about it. Alex Larez, Billy might not have unlocked Lonzo's full potential, but do you think we saw Lonzo at his most utilized with the Bulls? His most utilized as far as in his NBA career? I would have to say probably lean towards yes. But keep in mind when Zach and DeMar were both out, Lonzo averaged 18, 8, and 6. That is amazing numbers. So that's what I mean by like if they ever decide to truly run the offense through Lonzo Ball, and I think that may not happen until they this DeMar thing and you know they work it a little bit differently. But man, Lonzo's full potential is dangerous. AK is not blind. He knows the flaws of this roster and the work ahead for Zach. He will improve the bench. Absolutely. Let's see. Great point from Blah here. That's one good thing about the second half of the season. It showed our weakness points for Acme to fix going forward. Part of growing a team to win. That is, listen, there are certain comments where you ain't got to add shit to, and that's one of them. How effective do you think Lonzo can be in the playoff if he only gets to play 2 or 3 games before the season's over? It really just, the thing is, Lonzo is such a great defender that even if Lonzo is on a minutes restriction of 12 to 15 minutes, those 12 to 15 minutes, Lonzo's all over the floor and he's going to be as active as that knee lets him be. So I can't really answer that until we see how Lonzo looks. But I will say this, any minutes of Lonzo Ball are better than no minutes without Lonzo Ball. So I definitely think he has an impact on this team. How much of an impact, of course, will be determined by how much he can play, but he's going to have an impact. He's going to have an impact. Kudos to Billy for making adjustments lately by feeding Vooch and playing Pat 20 plus minutes as I hoped. He saw me go off on him last video. Absolutely. I don't understand how we lose games when you have DeMar, Levine, Vooch. If one player gets hot, you have to double. Why can't we find the? Because that's easier in practice, and it's easier to just say that it sounds easy. But keep in mind, double teams aren't just in an NBA. It isn't just hey, you're doubling this player. There's a player over there open. Usually teams, smart teams, they rotate their defense to where one player can get to 2 players pretty quickly. So in better defensive teams with linked, it's not always that easy. But also one thing to support your statement also is just being put. Zach LaVine doesn't make the best decisions in crunch time, and DeMar DeRozan gets tunnel vision in crunch time. Those things absolutely happen. Let's see. Lonzo utilized to his full potential is better than LaMelo. His defense and 3-point shooting are better. Well, that doesn't necessarily equate to being a better player. Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I'm just saying LaMelo has the keys, whereas Lonzo doesn't have the full keys in the way that LaMelo Ball does. So, but yeah. Lonzo's IQ alone makes him impactful immediately. He's not a guy who needs touches to get in rhythm. He's an on the court coach. I completely agree with you. Haize, do you think it would take Lonzo 5 or games to get back into game day 4? I don't really know. I really don't know. He hasn't really, because it's not like Caruso and Patrick Williams, right? Or even Derrick Jones Jr., who was the hand. This is a knee. So it means that he hasn't really been able to condition as much as the other players were. So it could take a while. It could take a while. I love having a 6'6" point guard who can switch 1 through 4. Most point guards struggle with that because they are around 6'1". Listen, first of all, the first time I saw freaking Lonzo Ball switch to a power forward and the power forward not be able to just keep in mind, Lonzo isn't, it's not like he's one of those solid bulky point guards like a Derrick Rose. He's pretty thin. But that the power forward was not able to just get by Lonzo, that opened my eyes wide. I was like, wow. And keep in mind, we even saw Lonzo guard Jokic short periods of times. But it was like, wow. Wow. Yeah. Alana's in the building. Y'all, I don't think I should watch games anymore. Every time I watch, we lose. Every time I don't watch, we win. This is the third time we've won. I haven't watched. Listen, there's a lot. Vincent Harris as well, who's usually in the chat. This was his first game watching in a month, and we won. So, hey, man, it's weird. It's weird. Zoe worth ethic is amazing. Do you remember how much he struggled in LA? Oh, yeah, he's a completely different player than what he was when he came into the season. Came into the league. Completely different. D Greater says, honestly, I feel like Lonzo could have a Rondo effect on us in the playoffs, wise, because the game slows down and he gets to study on one team and dissect them. The high IQ players shine the most. You listen, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Woo! All right. I think we're gonna get ready to shut it down. We got up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I still got to record Locked On Bulls tonight. We're gonna get to the hour mark, so I'm not immediately shutting down. If we get some more questions, get them in. Got to rest the. I'm so glad I don't have to live stream. The now that we do Locked On Bulls live after games too, the back-to-back game nights and the back-to-back live stream. So like, it gets to be a bit much for the old voice there. Shay says, I literally started crying when I saw Alex Caruso shut down PG and Anthony Davis within a day of each other. You cried because of that, bro? You cried? You cried? No, I'm just fucking with you, man. Lonzo is always tipping the ball and starting fast breaks like that. When Lonzo gets switched on bigs, he's tipping the ball a ton. You are absolutely correct. Gabby says, I live you, Haize. I hope you love me. I hope you're not living as me, because then that's weird. But I love you too. Yes, we play with ball movement. Absolutely. Not as much, I think, is what we would want to see, but we play with ball movement for sure. Having Petty Row come off the top rope back-to-back nights don't help either. Yeah, because, well, and I started off, like, honestly, my opening rant yesterday when I was screaming at Billy Donovan completely killed my voice. It completely killed my voice. What's up, Haize? What will happen first? Bulls win a championship or Bears win the Super Bowl? Bulls winning a title. And if in a perfect world, do you know how crazy I'm going to be if the Bulls and the Bears can win titles in the same year? Listen, I'm on the stream with no shirt, no socks, no shoes, no nothing. I'm going to have a Bears and a Bulls hat on side by side. I'm taking bottles of tequila to the head. Listen, it's going to be some crazy-ish, man. Haize, if we lost tonight, what would have been your reaction? To quote Kanye West, I guess we'll never know. Love the Bears, but they're not winning anything. Well, John Crawford, if you love the Bears, go and subscribe to my other channel, Chicago Bears Central, which I do with the Cognac Boys, and it's a great Bears podcast. We're only like 8 episodes in on that channel. But we're over 300 subscribers already 5 months before the season starts. But if you're a Bears fan, go and subscribe to the Bears channel, Chicago Bears Central. There you go. Let's see. Haize, what do we need to take out of this game and into the Clippers game? Patrick Williams needs more minutes. Feed Vooch down low. Let him get going because it makes everything easier on your team. DeMar needs to pass the ball out of double teams a little bit better and play with intensity on defense the whole game. That day will never. Oh, believe me, I already don't expect it to happen. I'm just saying if it were ever to happen. Matter of fact, not even in the same year. If the Bulls and the Bears win a title within a decade of each other, I will die a happy man. Like, keep in mind, the Bears have not won a title in my lifetime. They literally won the title the last time, the year before I was born. I need to see that. Chicago Bears Central has been dope with the Cognac Boys. Listen, I love doing that show with them, man. I really do love doing that show with them. Bears are winning a Super Bowl in 2026. Listen, I don't care if it's 2036. Let me just be alive for it, right? Let me be alive for it. Don't let me think about how many Cubs fans were born, lived, and died before the Cubs won a title. I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want that to happen to me. Bears and Bulls winning the same year would be historic. Listen, the city of Chicago. If that ever happens, I'm spending the offseason in Chicago. Like, I'm just letting y'all know right now. I'm renting a long-term Airbnb for 3 months, and I'm spending the whole entire summer in the city of Chicago, because that would the city of Chicago just having two teams having winning records in the same season gets crazy. How the city of Chicago would be to have the Bears and the Bulls winning titles in the same season, the same year. I gotta absorb that energy. I'm moving to Chicago for a summer. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm moving to Chicago for a summer. ESPN would be so mad. We should do a joint parade in Chicago during the summer. Man, listen, the taste of Chicago that year, lit. Little brother Spice Bands, I know I need to send you. I got so many people I need to email. What's going on, little bro? I'm glad to see you in here, man. Kobe had a good game this game. This was a good game from Kobe White. By everything, some of the things that don't show up on the stat sheet, Kobe had a very good game this game. Very good. Not a great game, not a game that you're going to look back and remember, but he had a good game this game. Listen, you're absolutely right. Can we please finally have a quarterback that wins games? Can we have a quarterback that's going to beat Green Bay? I would almost not care. The Bears could go 5-12 this season, but if 2 of those wins against the Green Bay Packers, the season is a success for me. Please beat the Packers. Exactly. Kobe had the highest plus minus of any Bulls player tonight. Kobe had a good game today. I was surprised that Nikola Vucevic held his own again. No, I'm not. It's not like Kristaps is extremely stronger than Vooch. If the Bears and Bulls won in the same season, no, I think it would be a peace zone, because the gangs are all going to be chilling. Listen, I'm telling you, Chicago would be a utopia for at least 6 months. It's Chicago. For at least 2 months before it got back crazy. I wouldn't say A-Rod's done. Hey, listen, I think the next video we're doing on Chicago Bears Central are the Bears an underrated playoff team? We'll get into that. We'll talk about it. We'll get into it. But all right, lovely people, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and shut down the stream. Go ahead, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like. You can. Oh, let me do this officially. I'm bad at this. Let me do this officially. Hold on. Wait a second. Make sure you're following the podcast at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns at bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave us a text or voicemail, you can do so at 773-270-2799. Like I like to end everything on, go Bulls. I love you guys, man, so much. Good game tonight. I will see you guys again Thursday live. Otherwise, I'll have my pre-recorded videos tomorrow. I'll see you guys there. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, don't be red. Peace, y'all.